Hello everyone, Boltsauce here and welcome to a special video. In this one I'm going to talk about active aggression and tell you everything that I know and everything that I uncovered by doing some research on the internet. I'm going to talk about all the different units, all the different factions, the buildings, the vehicles, the ornaments, you name it, like what kind of engine it uses and all that. But yeah, before we go into all of the factions and units, I will first talk about the more general stuff of the game, like you know, the engine and synopsis and all that. Alright, let's start off at the beginning. Active Aggression is an upcoming real-time strategy game developed by Eugene Systems and published by Focus Home Interactive. It's stated to be a spiritual successor to Eugene Systems' previous Active War titles, hence the similarities in the titles. So yeah, that's like what it's based on, but in my opinion it also looks a lot like what Generals 2 could have become, but yeah, sadly EA messed up there. So yeah, the synopsis: Active Aggression is to be set in the 2020s, during which many states around the world have gone bankrupt from a massive economic crisis. This results in the growth of an organization known as the Cartel, a shadowy organization that has infiltrated numerous government organizations and agencies, which this forces the United Nations to respond. Active Aggression will also include 2 separate single-player missions or campaigns. In one of the campaigns, players will be a head of a military organization created by the United Nations known as the Chimera, and the Chimera Special Unit consists out of super soldiers and are under UN command and formed by personnel that have come from different countries in the UN. The game aims to bring the players back in the 90s golden age of strategy games, implying that Active Aggression will be a traditional RTS with its gameplay similar to Command & Conquer and StarCraft. So yeah, Active Aggression will thus include base building and resource management. The 3 confirmed playable factions are the United States Army, the Chimera, and the Cartel. The game will include super weapons and anti-super weapons for each of the factions, and each faction will upgrade in a centralized headquarters in order to unlock new units, buildings, and upgrades. Skills and abilities for units can be unlocked to specialize them in roles such as anti-air, anti-tank, etc. And Active Aggression will have an in-game day and night cycle, so that is going to be just insanely epic. That is what I have been hoping for Wargame Red Dragon, but it will happen in Active Aggression. So yeah, that's it for the main information about the game. I am now going to play the trailer, and I am going to talk about all of the different units that we see on the trailer, and after that I'm going to talk about all of the factions and, you know, what they are and the different units that each faction has. Alright, let's do this. So the first unit that I am going to talk about is the LAV-AD, and this bad boy has a GAU 12 equalizer, 25mm Gatling cannon, and it has what looks like 8 Stinger missiles, the FIM-92 Stinger missiles. It might be F1M, I have no idea. But yeah, that's going to be the LAV-AD anti-air vehicle. And in the upper left corner you can see the C-Ram. This will be probably for counter projectile purposes like mortars, missiles, or perhaps even airplanes. Yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. Alright, well, the next unit brings me to an interesting topic. Here you can see a supply truck, of course. This looks like a flammable supply truck, so probably fuel or something else that is flammable. Anyway, if you played games like Command & Conquer Generals or Red Alert or even Active War, you know that supplies are a big thing. In those older games, if you had like an oil refinery 50 kilometers away, the income or resources from that would magically go into your main pocket. Well, it won't be like this. It won't be like that in this game. Like, the oil you get from a refinery won't go into like your factories straight away. You will have to have supply lines in order to use that. And, you know, getting the income won't be as easy like the older times as well. Like, basically supply lines are going to play a really important role in this game, and you will just have to move everything to where you want to use it. Alright, we're moving on. Here you can see a refinery of the United States of America, and There are some speculations on what this will do. It is a resource processor as far as we know, but I think that it will also be used to produce these M978 tankers. That's the flammable helmet truck you see there. It is called the M978 tanker as far as we know now. And yeah, this will be a resource processing refinery. Perhaps it will also do some other stuff, as I said, like producing these helmet trucks. Alright, before we move on to some other stuff, on the bottom right corner you can see some United States soldiers. Yeah, the animation of soldiers look really nice. They are not like static like Red Alert or Generals or even War Game. They have different animations that they do simultaneously, so they won't be doing the same animation all at the same time. But yeah, I hope that infantry will play a huge role in active aggression like it is in War Game. I don't hope it's just vehicles, but we'll just wait and see. Alright, let's move on to some cooler stuff, like this factory that produces heavy-ass vehicles. As far as we know, based on this trailer, it's only to produce M1A2 Abrams, but it will probably also be producing like Humvees or other vehicles, like AA vehicles or the LEV-25s. This is one of the best tanks in Wargame Red Dragon, and it is probably going to be a really big asset in this game as well. And as you can see in the left side of the screen, you can see a Patriot. That is the MIM or M1M Patriot. MIM 104 Patriot is what it's named as, and it's probably for air defense or missile interceptions or stuff like that. Anyway, well, this next screenshot really blew me away. Just look at the detail of the terrain, look at the detail of those cars stacked on top of each other, and look at that tank. That is the STRV-2000 super tank, and this will be part of the MBT series that the cartel will have. I will later talk about the different factions and all that, but yeah, that just looks amazing with a main cannon and what looks like a 20 or 30 millimeter auto cannon on top. It's definitely going to be an amazing tank. I cannot wait to use it. Here you can see the construction of the refinery. This is the resource processor, and it's going to be like Generals and Red Alert, where there's like a giant construction and the building will be built inside of it. Anyway, that's enough of ground-based vehicles or buildings. Here you can see this sexy F-22 Raptor air superiority fighter. And oh boy, does it look amazing. I remember in Command & Conquer Generals that like jets were really retarded. Like they had a turning radius of 20 meters and they flew like 50 kilometers an hour when they were circling somewhere. But yeah, so far it looks really good. Like the terrain looks really good, the graphics look amazing, and the models look really good as well, especially that painting on that jet. The small things make it a lot better. But yeah, the F-22 Raptor air superiority fighter right there. Besides fighters or jets, there are also helicopters, like you guys probably already know, and this here is the Mi-24 Superhind Mark IV. And that's a mouthful, but it has rocket pods. It is a gunship basically, so it has rocket pods, it has ATGMs. Hopefully there will be like different variants of it like in War Game, but it will also have like a 30mm cannon or something like that, or a 35mm Gush cannon. No idea, it's all futuristic, so there might be some weird stuff going on, actually some weird laser guns or something. I hope they don't really just go nuts on that. But yeah, that's what I know so far about this, and it's for cartel. So the cartel are getting some really good units, a mix of like Western and Eastern tech. But yeah, let's move on. As a counter for the Superhind, the United States of America is getting the Eurocopter Tiger, as seen in this screenshot in the top here, and that is an attack helicopter, and it's probably going to have like a cannon, as you can see. I don't know if you can see that. But a cannon, rocket pods, and ATGMs. But yeah, those two helicopters are going to be nuts. Here you can see all of these vehicles, the M1A2s with absolute death on the cannon. And here are the LEVs, the AA variants aiming their gun up, as you can see in the on the right side of the screenshot. And yeah, here you can confirm for yourself that it's probably an AA vehicle, and it's going to be fast, it's going to be amphibious. I don't know if there's any water in there in this game, but I hope so. And it's going to be pretty epic with those stingers and the cannon. Alright, well, here you can see a better quality screenshot of that Eurocopter Tiger, and you can confirm for yourself that it has ATGMs, it has a cannon, and it has rocket pods, as you can see, and it looks like it has a lot of rocket pods actually. So yeah, that's going to be pretty insane. I don't know how it's going to work in terms of damage. It might be like war game, it might be like act of war, but we'll just have to wait and see. So that was it for all the units that we saw on the trailer. I will now talk about the different factions that we know of, and the first one, of course, is the United States Army, abbreviated as the US Army, and it is a faction that is confirmed, so we will definitely see those. The second big one is the Cartel. The Cartel is a military-industrial syndicate and violent non-state actor formed sometime during the 21st century, and it utilizes high-tech equipment, stolen prototypes, and stealth operatives for their unknown agenda. So they're not state-bound, so it's not a country, it's just an organization. And the Cartel emerged as a result of a global economic crisis during the 2020s. And they infiltrated numerous government organizations and agencies, and this forced the United Nations to come up with the third faction that we will be playing with, and that is called the Chimera. It is a special unit organized by the United Nations, and it is under UN control. It is a low-tech agency, so it is not the most powerful one. I think the most powerful factions is the United States of America and the Cartel. The Cartel is, strictly military industrial and pretty violent, and the United States, will be an organized army, and the Chimera will be like an underdog basically, as far as we know now. Alright, well, that was the majority of the things I want to discuss in this video. I will now actually talk about the different units that each faction has that we know of at this moment, and I will start off with America. America will, of course, have the F-22 Raptor. It will have the Eurocopter Tiger, it will have the M1A2 Tusk, LAV-AD, Humvees as a transport for its infantry. As a base defense buildings, it will have the C-Ram and the Patriots. So that's basically all we know about America. There are probably going to be like a few more dozen units for each nation or faction, but we'll just have to wait and see. Alright, let's see, the Cartel doesn't have a lot of units so far. It has the BMPT as seen in this picture, and it's actually pretty cool looking. It looks like it is a tank destroyer, or just it basically has like twin autocannons and 4 ATGMs, I think. But it might be actually the counterpart for the LEV-AD, so it might be an AA variant. I have no idea. I cannot really see that from this picture, but yeah. Let's see, besides the BMPT, it has the STRV 2000 super tank. That is just an insane looking tank. It has a main cannon and a autocannon. And as for aircraft, for now it only has the Mi-24 Super Hind. So that's about it for the Cartel. For the Chimera, we don't know anything at all actually, besides that it's a military organization by the UN. It will have weaponry from different UN nations. So yeah, that's going to be pretty insane actually. If you play war game, like any of the war game series, like Chimera will basically be like blue for mix, America will be America, and the Cartel will be like, I don't know, something like a red for and blue for mix actually. They will have Western tech and Eastern tech. So that was it for this information video. If it was actually helpful, just leave a like, share with your friends that also are planning to buy this game or are looking forward to the game. Like the trailers don't tell you a lot about, the stories or anything like that. So yeah, just subscribe, hit that subscribe button, share it with your friends, like, and actually tell me if you guys have the time. Just tell me what you think that this game will have, and just let me know if you find any more information about it. But yeah, that's it. Thank you for your time, I'll see you guys back in the next one.